Hello, and welcome back to Obscura Undead. We hope you enjoyed our fun, fancy-free episode earlier this week. We know it was a little different, but we're back to our regular schedule.
Back to the future.
Ah.
We're your weekly source of band news, tour news, music discussions, etc.
And this is our review episode. I'm Azy.
And I'm Maus.
And this week we are reviewing three brand new albums from Night Sins, AntiFlvx, and Scary Black. Alright, what album should we start with this week? Which one had your heart?
Scary Black. No, Night Sins. Oh my god.
AntiFlvx?
AntiFlvx.
All of them?
Let's start with all of them. So...
These bands had music. That's my review.
AntiFlvx put out an album on Bandcamp August 30th. It was dropped a little bit earlier, though, so we've been listening to it for a couple of weeks. And they are a band out of Bogota, Colombia.
Yeah.
Their Bandcamp poetry says, "Sounds like the haze of the city, like a minimal speech to existential questions." And now that we've listened to it, I'm not sure it's quite a digital haze of existential questions. Oh, minimal haze, sorry. But it was interesting. So,
yeah. So just to give you a little bit of background on AntiFlvx, the album that we're reviewing, the one that was out on August 30th, is called Spirals, and it came out on In Club Records. I think they had a CD release for this. And it is it's a project created by Leonardo... Is it Jaime?
Jaime? Mm-hmm. I think so. And Camilo Alfonso. I'm not sure which one's the singer, unless you know.
I do know. Leonardo Jaime is vocals, and Camilo Alfonso is programming and synths.
So two guys. Mm-hmm. And it kind of shows in the music that it's two guys, and it's an electronic project. When I first heard of AntiFlvx, I thought it would be more on the super gothy rock side.
I did too, but they kind of describe their sound as ranging from EBM to synth pop.
I don't quite hear any of those in the temperature of the music, because it seems to be more reserved and more mellow than either of those genres.
Well, the backbeats and the synths are usually like really fast, really dancey. It's the vocals over top which kind of drown you down again.
Yeah.
So that's that.
They did put another little description on their Bandcamp site that say 10 songs that address the spiral of development as a human being, of someone through a story of loneliness that knows love afterwards and finally meets the pain and melancholy after it, defines how equal we are in existence, but in the end we're completely different after any life experience.
I think that they really started the album off encapsulating that really well. The lyrics for their title track alone are it's Edgar Allan Poe's poem Alone, which is an absolutely beautiful poem, and I think that they really did it justice. This was my favorite track off the whole album.
They have another song in there called Lo Fatal. It's also a poem by Ruben Dario. I don't know who that is, but the music is still put to a poem, which is really neat. The rest of the album, I'm hearing melancholy, cold wave, dark wave.
Yeah, this is the kind of music where you put it on, and even though it's danceable and upbeat, it just wraps around you and kind of and suffocates you, but in a really good way.
I thought a lot of the synths were simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad thing. It's just a style of music writing where you have, your basic synth like revolving and looping at the beginning, and that's pretty much what you're going to get throughout the entire song. So it gives it that minimal feel, and most of the songs seemed like they were comprised of one synth, and then you had this like over-reverbed gothic
so much reverb
crooning, and
yes.
I will never complain about too much reverb
or too much crooning
or too much gothic. So it was just like a wall of like, I don't know, I can't even describe it. But very lush sounding, very put together.
Oh yeah, was everything mixed well for you? Was it balanced?
Was it mixed well? Yes, it was. That's usually a pet peeve of mine.
I know.
But I was happy with that. But I think that's also because there's not that many instruments. It's just the synth, just the vocal, and you have like, your little electronic drum beat. So not a lot to balance. There were some songs that stood out for me. Aracnido is the first song that was all in Spanish language, and that kind of breaks up, like when you're listening to the album in a row, a lot of them are very similar to each other. Once you get to like track 6, that Spanish language track kind of sticks out, and then I was woken back up. It kind of puts you in this like mellow, like zombified state. Relaxed.
Yes. I liked that too. I mean, granted, another reason why I really love Alone is because I feel like you can really hear the accent on there, and it's just lovely.
Oh, his accent is so cute.
I know that's a terrible thing to say in a music review. Is
his accent was cute. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not professionals here.
Oh, really?
Well, we give a lot of honest opinions, but
I do really enjoy when bands sing sort of in their native language and don't feel like they have to sing in English.
And
that's an unfortunate thing where it's kind of the expectation that you have to sing in English in order to reach a wider audience.
I like when a band sings in English and they come from another country and I could hear their accent, because I love accents. I love all the accents.
You love it when they sound cute.
I think accents are adorable. There's a song on here called The Last Sun. It sounds like he's saying The Last Sol. And maybe he is, because sol is Spanish for sun.
Maybe.
But The Last Sun was a standout track for me because the chorus melody actually changes from the verses. So it breaks it up.
We can message them, because soul might also be a play on words because of English soul.
It could be.
We should message them and ask.
Ask them if he meant to say soul and then he screwed up.
No, just ask him.
We're sorry, but your song called The Last Sun, well, you're wrong. It's actually called The Last Soul.
No.
No? Okay.
More like, are you singing The Last Soul? Are you saying The Last Soul on The Last Sun?
And he'll be like, that was my accent. I tried so hard. How dare you? And he's going to be really upset.
Oh, okay, so maybe we don't message him. But if you happen to watch this video and you have the answer for us, we'd love to know.
Anyway, it's a beautiful song. Right after that, you have La Fatale, which was the other poem.
The other piece of poetry.
That song I can only describe as dripping with sadness.
I did really like that song. I think my 2 favorite tracks were both of the poetry tracks.
And then there is another track that is called After the Storm. Fun and dancey.
That was a fun song.
Yes, high synths driving the tune. It's it would be great for a nice dance floor. Not like an EBM dance floor, but like a mellow starter dance floor.
Your starter dance floor is my middle of the night.
I know. You're like, man, upbeat. What did you call it earlier? You're like, upbeat dance floor, and I'm like, man, this is like downbeat dance floor. Is downbeat the opposite of upbeat?
Sure.
Is that a word though?
Yes.
Okay, it's a word. Downbeat dance floor.
I used to go to a place in Hawaii called Downbeat Lounge.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was fine.
Was it awesome, or was it all like...
No, they had really good drinks.
Okay, good. Downbeat Lounge.
Yeah.
Great effort. Thank you, AntiFlvx, for making this. This is their second album. Pick it up on digital. You can pick up a gold vinyl for it, which is interesting.
Soul.
The last soul.
And please make more music videos. Just music videos.
Well, we could watch one of their official music videos.
We could.
And maybe they're in the video.
Ooh, yes.
We'll check.
We'll check. We'll get back to that.
We'll put a pin in that.
See, this is why you probably shouldn't drink tequila and vodka on camera.
It's vodka and Kool-Aid and tequila and Kool-Aid.
Tequila and Kool-Aid.
Right on.
Right on.
All right.
So, thanks. we look forward to more. We always look forward to more.
Yes.
What did you think?
I loved it.
All right, so to give you a little bit of context, Night Sins, A Portrait in Silver. The album comes out September 6th, which is 2 days into our future, but by the time this video goes up, it's going to be a couple of days into the past.
But if you pre-ordered it on Bandcamp, it's unlocked to listen to right now, so you can go listen to it.
Or if you just go on Bandcamp on Funeral Party Records, you can just listen to it.
Oh, I thought it was because...
Nope, they
pre-ordered it.
No, they released it for listening a couple of days early, which was pretty cool.
I felt all special.
Yeah. So this is Kyle Kimball of Philadelphia. This is Night Sins' 4th album, and it is not really like anything else in their catalog. When I first read the direction that they wanted to take, that he wanted to take the band in, I was really hesitant about what exactly that meant. Because he was talking more about, like heavy sounds and more about Depeche Mode and Nine Inch Nails, and I did not know what that would sound like.
Maybe that's what he's been listening to over the last 2 years.
Maybe. But I didn't know how it would translate within the Night Sins sound, if it would be a complete reinvention of sound or just like an evolution of sound. And I was very surprised when the 3 singles came out, and I was even more surprised when I finally got to hear I wouldn't say surprised, pleased is probably a good word. When I heard no, not even relieved, just really happy with this album. So this release kind of takes the band from a more goth rock sound to a more sort of 80s synth pop sound. There's a lot on here that sounds very much like Depeche Mode, which isn't a bad thing, and this is probably just me, but I've been hearing like Information Society in a lot of bands lately, but it might just be because I've been listening to more Information Society lately.
Well, I was definitely thinking of new wave when I heard this.
Yeah, because they go more synths.
They are straight up not just synths, but like happy, fun synths. Like you're getting ready to go out, you're gonna have a night on the town.
Are you talking specifically Daisy Chain?
No, I have something to say about Daisy Chain.
Okay. We'll get there.
So no, the whole album to me just felt fun, and like it felt like the beginning of my night. It felt fresh. It didn't feel
really
like
did.
It didn't feel like there's bands that you listen to their album and you're like, okay, this is like end of the night music, or it's like dreary, or right, it could be poetic.
Music has moods.
Music has moods. That's exactly it. And so I try to pull out those moods. And this for me was a lot like the way Body of Light was. Like those same elements and that same like excitement and upbeat bounciness in most of the songs. Yeah.
Well, it kind of overall the album gave me a lot of new retrowave vibes.
Yes.
And I really love new retrowave. I'm a little bit basic in that Scandroid is one of my favorite bands in that genre.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I love Scandroid.
That's all right. That's good.
And oftentimes when I'm driving into Tampa, I will listen to Scandroid. Because it's cityscapes, and it's like, yay.
True retrowave. Well, this was very retro-inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Does sound like you're stepping out of the 80s. Not in a bad way. Not in a cliche way at all. It's totally redefining the sound, and very synth pop as well. Every single one of these tracks I love. And
speaking of tracks, you want to go through like the tracks one by one?
Sure.
Well, at least like my highlights.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about my highlights. You can talk about your highlights.
Let's talk about your highlights.
Track 1, again, my favorite track on the album, Lonely in the Mirror.
So fun, so poppy.
I felt like this song is the perfect fusion of this sort of synth poppy vibe that they're going in, and then also a fusion with like what I like from Night Sins' back catalog. So my favorite Night Sins song is Down to Drown. It's their single Down to Drown. I think that song is just fantastic, and I spin it any chance I get because I love it.
I'm sure I've heard you spin it, but I don't remember how it goes.
Oh, I'm sure if I played it, you'd be just like, oh yeah,
that song. Yeah.
But I felt like this first track really encapsulated what I loved about stuff in the back catalog and what this album was trying to convey. So I thought it was a perfect way to start off the album.
I loved For People Like Us, which was track 2. I don't exactly remember why. I loved them all. So Daisy Chain.
How do you like that fun guitar like riff solo in the middle?
It is another version of La Maldad, but better.
I felt like this track was a straight Depeche Mode inspired track in the sense melody as it opened.
Like later Depeche Mode, like Personal Jesus kind of.
Yes, exactly.
Almost like imitation country goth. I don't know. Not in the way he sang though. It was just the twangy guitar, and then
a little bit.
And then I just like my brain kept getting like post-traumatic flashes of like La Maldad, and I'm like
La Maldad.
I can't be the only one who just doesn't like that song that much.
I think it's just fun that you hate it so much that it's turned into a game
it's
to
like,
make you hate it.
It's like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner had a goth song put to it. Oh my god, I should do that. I should take like clips from that and make a music video, drop it all to black and white, and make a music video for She Passed Away, La Maldad.
I think that is a great idea, but we should talk about Night Synths now.
Oh, sorry, yeah, thank you. Yeah, sorry.
Because otherwise we're gonna get off in a rabbit hole.
Okay.
Then there was Two-Headed Dream.
And that was another single, that was the second single that was released on the album.
The vocals are so nice.
It is, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that in between like the fun dancey songs there are pretty poetic tracks as well.
And there's Annihilator.
There's Annihilator, which we talked about several times.
Yeah.
But if you missed it, we did a music video react, and we watched the music video, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And heard like a updated Trent Reznor track.
Terrible. Why?
So if Trent decided that he was going to move to synth pop, it should sound like this, or this could be something that he does. So I'm wondering if Night Synths Kyle was actually inspired by Depeche Mode. And
I believe he said on Facebook that he was, which is the only reason why I feel comfortable sort of referencing those two so much, is because usually I don't much care to like say this band is exactly like this other band.
Well, what it says in the liner notes here is the sound is hushed vocals and upbeat rhythms more akin to Violator than Floodland.
Yeah.
And that's a good summary of how the sound has changed.
Yeah, I never really found Night Synths to Sisters of Mercy. I feel like they always had like their own take on it, which is what I feel about this album as well, is that it still has the Night Synths spin and it is not cloney.
And oh my god, are there hushed vocals? Hushed. They are whispery. Whoosh. I love vocals. Like he's whispering right in my ear.
So it's like goth ASMR?
Oh my god, yes! Yes. Darkwave vocals, just do it in my ear.
You know what would be really great? If we could take all the music.
Darkwave vocals.
If we could take all the music off the track and just have his vocals.
Okay, that might be creepy.
But you can keep the reverb.
So message him and be like, hey, can you send me just your naked vocals? We're not going to do anything creepy with it, we promise.
I promise. I do love that style of vocals though, like.
So Portrait in Silver, the song, is track 6.
Yep.
It is a cover. It was written by Nick Bassett, who is in the shoegaze band called Nothing. And it's a beautiful track.
It is.
It's gorgeous. I find it interesting that that's what the album was also named. I would have chosen a Night Synths track to name the album after.
Nah.
Portrait
in Silver is a beautiful name.
It is a very interesting. I mean, we never forgot it. We never once said like, what was the name of that Night Synths album again?
And we got even more excited about Silver Vinyl.
I know.
Which, by the way, vinyl release on this album is going to be delayed a few weeks because of production issues at the factory. Which sucks.
Did the silver come out gray?
Oh,
and then they're like, it's not Portrait in gray, it's Portrait in silver.
No, I think it's the entire vinyl run. Like, not just the color, but the entire run is backed up. But the CDs are coming out on time, if you bought one of those.
Those are silver.
I don't know. I don't know.
We don't fucking know. Yeah, I can't tell. Oh, they come on clear. They come on clear blue vinyl too.
Yeah, but that's sold out.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, cause silver. Anyway.
Oh,
Hot Dose.
I love this song.
I think that was their most retro wave track of the entire album.
Definitely was. Like, I could totally see them hanging out with Scandroid.
Like dreaming of like digital cities in purple and pink.
Adrenochrome. Is that a color?
I don't know. Do you dream in monochrome?
Monochrome. I dream in monochrome.
Ooh.
Yeah, we dress in monochrome. Anyway. And then another beautiful track is Breathe. So it's like the tracks are all spaced out. You have like the dancey synth poppy new wave sounding songs, and then you have like some beautiful tracks like sprinkled throughout.
I have to admit, I was actually really let down with Breathe. I thought that it was the weakest track on the album and was kind of disappointed that it closed the album out.
I felt that it was perfect to close the album out.
I just didn't really care for it. I didn't find it that interesting, except for the like mid-song guitar bit. But then again, guitars.
I think it was meant to like slow you down a bit and lower your heart rate.
Oh, like walking a lap.
Yeah, a cool down.
Cool down, yeah.
A cool down track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so think of it like that.
Because it's called Breathe.
Yeah, so go back and listen to it. I know that Hot Dose was great and you just wanted more of that. But
yeah, so
sometimes it's how they order the songs. Like if Hot Dose wasn't so great, you probably wouldn't have been as disappointed in Breathe. But
that's quite possible.
Like maybe if Hot Dose was like moved up earlier into the album, then the final song you could just slide out into that last song.
I could see that.
Song order is so important.
I could see being more okay with Breathe after Portrait in Silver.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Like if those were the last two tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah. So if you're a fan of Depeche Mode or Nine Inch Nails or New Retro Wave or Night Synths, you might like this album.
Or a synth pop version of trance songs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because not Nine Inch Nails. I mean, don't come here looking for Nine Inch Nails.
Come here looking for Trent.
Trent, I love you! Trent! Oh, man.
All right, what was your favorite track?
Portrait in Silver.
Mine was Lonely in the Mirror.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go for one of the beautiful tracks instead of one of the fun, dancey tracks, but I think...
That's rare for you?
Yeah, it's usually the one that surprises me the most. And I had already heard Lonely in the Mirror, and I enjoy it, but I also really enjoyed this whole album all the way through, and when Portrait in the Mirror, and there's another one, Hot Dose. Uh-huh. When both of those started, I was just like, that's great, I love it.
Awesome. So, thanks, Kyle. That was a curveball. What a good one.
Thank you for not disappointing us. Seal of approval.
You got the mouse thumbs up. All I wanted was a thumbs up from my puppy. Alright, so let's talk about Scary Black.
Scary Black.
Shadow Dwellers.
I'm so excited.
So this album originally released back in March 5th. It was called Shadow Dwellers B-Sides. Scary Black had never put out anything for A-sides, so it left us wondering, what are the A-sides?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yes.
I don't think so.
So Scary Black was releasing his own stuff on Bandcamp before Secret Sin Records picked him up.
Right.
So if you go to his Bandcamp, you'll find all his other stuff.
But then what's Dream?
Drown.
Or Drown.
Drown is a beautiful track.
It's a single.
Yes. And then the Shadow Dwellers.
The B-sides. That is the album that was just re-released. Released today on Secret Sin Records.
Stuff.
No.
Is it possible it got removed to be on Secret Sin?
I don't recall it being on there. I just remember that.
I'm telling you, I get so confused.
We'll have to find out. So the album got a whole new cover too. It's purple with like crows and it's beautiful and
crows.
Super goth.
Yeah, well, the original cover was like a doorway with something going on. You couldn't tell at all.
Yeah, but Scary Black is from
Louisville,
Kentucky.
Yeah.
And who's another band we know from Kentucky that's awesome?
Kentucky Vampires?
Yeah. And
Nice.
you know where the next convergence is going to be?
Kentucky?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah, so hot spot, I guess. That's awesome.
But probably just Louisville.
Probably just
Not
Louisville.
like the
rest
other parts of Kentucky.
Well, yeah, but
I know the Kentucky Derby, I know Kentucky Fried Chicken, and that is it.
you don't know KFC, you know Popeyes.
Oh my god. There's a difference?
Yeah. I guess the internet blew up about sandwiches or some shit.
Sandwiches?
Yeah, chicken sandwiches. I wasn't paying much attention, but I know Conan
doesn't
put
like
2 sandwiches in front of a dog to see which one that he preferred, Popeyes or KFC, and the dog liked both of them.
Were you just asleep during the chicken sandwich wars?
I was asleep during the chicken sandwich wars.
I'm sorry, but I don't give a crap about chicken sandwiches. Like, if I want a sandwich, it's not going to be with chicken in it. If I go to a chicken place, I'm going to get, like, a giant bucket of chicken.
You want tenders?
No!
You don't like tendies?
I like it with the bone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't want to insult our dear friends who enjoy chicken tenders, but most of the time it's white meat, dried out chicken.
Is Scary Black like that?
Scary Black, are you white meat, dried out chicken? I don't think so.
You have the bone.
I don't think so. I know he likes it on the bone, and I know that he likes dark meat because I do.
Is it because this album's so spooky and dark meat is the spookiest part of a chicken?
Yes. Stupid. Let's cut this stupid conversation.
Let's cut this stupid conversation.
But we could have an entire conversation about chicken.
Maus feels very passionate about chicken.
Yes.
And she knows all the secrets of Popeyes.
And I'm only half passionate about chicken sandwiches, which I still like.
But yeah, Scary Black, Louisville, Kentucky. Like we said, this album released September 4th on Secret Sin Records, who is a growing UK based, but they have a US arm that does some distro record label.
They're the label that released the latest Angels of Liberty album, among some other things that I've just forgotten.
A bunch of other really great things. So they're a new label, and they have a lot of really cool bands signed to them, like the Kentucky Vampires. And they, like we said, they released Angels of Liberty. They also have, oh gosh, I'm blanking, but they have Last Dusk, which is another great band. They have Red Apple Cult.
Mary's Funeral, Fear Incorporated, and Guillotine Dream.
Yeah, Guillotine Dream. That is such a
Guillotine.
great band too.
Is it Guillotine or Guillotine?
I
Guillotine.
Say,
Oh,
I
it
say
is Guillotine. Yeah, you're right.
But so far they have a stable of really amazing bands. So I shouldn't call it a stable, but and
They have a barn of really amazing bands.
Scary Black is just the latest really cool release.
The album is 9 tracks long.
I think you mean 9 tracks short.
9 tracks short.
9 tracks short.
The first track is called Eat the World, Kill Them All, Scalp Them with a Knife.
Spooky.
Thank you so much for a title like that. So the first thing that gets me are the vocals. You're listening to dark wave, gothy,
More goth wave, kind of like My Own Burial from last week.
more goth wave,
What we
wavier.
What we mean by that is it's something that incorporates a really well balance of synths and guitars
together.
in
Because if you
perfect
go
harmony.
too far with guitars, it could end up the goth rock. If you go too far with the synths, it could end up like the cold wave, minimal wave kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we've just been calling it goth wave. Yeah.
Is that not a thing already?
I don't think so. I think that usually people call it just
Dark
guitar dark wave.
Okay. Yeah, goth, dark wave, all of that. Vocals, oh my god. His vocals are on point.
Yeah.
They are dreamy. Lots of that echoey reverb that makes a beautiful goth record.
Oh gosh, reverb. Oh gosh.
You can swim in it.
You can.
It's thick like Jell-O.
This album does not have enough reverb. It could use more reverb on top of the reverb.
I think it has just enough.
I love it.
The songs are also beautifully written. I didn't catch a lot of the lyrics, but
we never do.
if they put them in Bandcamp, I could do a much better review, and I could be like, this song is sad.
Well, when we get the CD, maybe it'll have the lyrics inside of it.
That would be neat. That would be great. The second track, Ice Rose, very catchy, very beautiful. I don't know. I love it.
I did want to comment about track 1. There was this synth riff at the end that I hated.
Oh no! I don't remember that.
But then the rest of the album made up for it, and I was so happy.
Riff.
Yeah, it was like a little tapped out melody.
So I'm under the impression that it's a one-man project.
I believe
Did
so.
some dude show up and just do some keyboards at the end of the song?
I don't know. Maybe it was just tinkering. Maybe this is why it's a B-side.
We could ask him. We could be like, "What's up with the synths at the end of
What's up with the keyboards
eat them,
at the end
kill them all,
Yeah.
scalp them with a knife"? What's up with the keyboards?
But if that's the one low part of the album, that's like nothing, because the rest of the album, like we keep raving about and don't get around to actually saying anything, is that we loved it.
Yes, and it's another beautiful album.
I mean,
I really enjoy Not Tonight as well.
Not Tonight was great.
The Root of Self-Hate, that's probably my favorite track on there because the riff in it is so catchy. From the first, like, you know when you turn on a song and in the first
You're like
20 seconds, you're like, this is a
bopping
perfect,
around.
This is a perfect goth dark wave loop, and that's repeated through the whole song. So you're like, yes, this is, you can't ruin it.
I know exactly what you mean. I felt that way on The Crushing Weight.
The Crushing Weight is another great one.
And Where You'll Go. Oh. I love that so much. Like,
that's such a pop thing, like a pop vocal.
I loved it. Like, I know what it is. It's such a pop thing, but I loved it.
Where You'll Go. I kind of want to like play it right now.
I felt that track 5 and 6, The Crushing Weight and Where You'll Go, are my all-time favorite tracks off of this album.
And there's a song called Josephine, which is also an Angels of Liberty track.
Yeah.
No relation.
That's true.
Well, it could be about the same Josephine.
I don't know.
But it's just interesting that the two bands that wrote a song called Josephine are on the same label.
I'm sure that Secret Sins will collect anyone who's ever put out a song called Josephine.
Maybe
like Pokemon, but bands.
Maybe Secret Sin has some like secret member that's named Josephine, and they all know each other.
So it's like a cult, like a Red Apple cult.
Does Secret Sin have like a pet ferret or something named Josephine, and that's what Foe was writing about?
I doubt it, but I like this conspiracy theory. I like where this is going.
Who's Josephine?
So, you know who you are. Please tell me.
Yeah, she's a ghost.
Yeah, probably. I don't care.
I'm sad there's no like Bandcamp poetry or any other description. Oh, maybe there is a description because I'm looking at the wrong.
No, there
profile.
isn't one on their Secret Sins listing either.
So that's what's great about him. He's mysterious.
I mean, the photo of him is super mysterious.
I love it. I mean, it's like
He's
a
like
Polaroid.
Like a human crow.
A Polaroid of a dude with like all these feathers and wings and all kinds of shit.
I love it.
I love it. I want Scary Black to come to Tampa.
Yeah, why aren't we getting the bands that we talk about?
We could probably get all the bands we talk about.
Oh yeah, that's right, money.
Oh.
Fuck.
We have to have money.
Shit, usually.
Oh.
If you're a band and want to come to Tampa for free,
If you want to come,
don't, because that's exploitation.
You could just
but we
hang
love
out
it.
with us.
Yeah, you could just come hang out with us. So the album ends on I Don't Care and Youth is Hell, which I thought was really funny, of a song about how you like don't give a fuck, and then the next song is about being insecure as like a youth.
Yes.
Those tracks were a lot of fun. I laughed. I don't know if I was supposed to
I
laugh,
laughed.
but I
I
laughed.
cried.
I felt emotions.
Yeah, all of these songs like are so well written, and I do now. I wonder where the A-sides are. I never realized that like.
I mean, if these are the B-sides, imagine what the A-sides sound like.
Maybe that's the joke. Maybe that's why it was released and just called Shadow Dwellers.
Because it's the same tracks as the B-sides?
Yes.
Just stuff with the B-sides.
Yeah, because you got to start with the A-sides.
I suppose.
But this gives me hope for Darkwave from Kentucky. I don't know if there's more Darkwave bands from Kentucky, but I love Scary Black. I have high hopes for him, and I would love to see more stuff.
I know that there's a lot of mixed feelings about the fact that anyone can pick up like equipment or a program and become a musician nowadays. Because yeah, we have a huge influx of bands, and it's harder to get to them all, and it's harder to
weed out the good ones too.
It's harder to weed out the good ones, and it's harder to make a name for yourself.
It is. But that's why we're around, and other places like us. I mean, think about it. We don't focus on the big bands and say, hey, here's an album from a big band. I mean, Drum Majesty we do, because Drum Majesty is fucking amazing.
Yes, they have 20,000 likes. They are huge.
So aside from that, but most of the time, if you look at any of our album reviews, we're pulling out 3 bands that you don't know about.
Yeah, we usually do debuts, don't we?
Debuts?
Lately, I feel like we've been doing a lot of debut albums.
Not AntiFlvx?
No, not this week, really.
Well, I mean,
I think that Shadow Dwellers is Scary Black's debut full-length.
On Secret Sin. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Debut full-length.
Yeah.
It is.
So, but the reason I was pointing that out is that I don't mind that it's so accessible, because, you put the equipment in the hands of someone who, say 20 years ago would never have been able to afford to, make music or something, or get, their hands on the synths that they would want, and you get music like this.
No.
I don't know anything about Scary Black's history, but just speaking generally of these one-man bands.
You can also get people who are making music at a younger age.
Yeah.
They have that complaint about, how anybody can be a DJ, just put, a program in their hands.
Yeah.
That same concept can be for musicians as well. So you can make a musician at 12 years old.
Oh, they have whole schools for that.
And hopefully you can find somebody who makes music beautifully and can arrange the music wonderfully and balance it and master it properly.
It's just, I'm having a real Ratatouille moment, where anyone can cook.
Oh my god.
Anyone can cook. A good chef can come from anywhere.
I actually didn't watch that. I didn't want to watch a CGI movie about food and rats.
Oh.
I will one day. I know. I've watched all the other... It's Pixar, right? Or is it DreamWorks?
Yeah, no, it's Pixar. Mouse,
yeah,
we have to fix this
Pixar.
because Ratatouille is my favorite Pixar movie. I love that movie so much.
You're going to make me watch a Pixar movie about a rat cooking food.
Yeah.
You realize how wrong that sounds.
We'll eat food while we're doing it.
Oh my god.
It's really cute. I promise you'll cry.
I played the Ratatouille video game.
There's a video game?
Yep. You're a rat, and you're in a yard, and you're pushing around potatoes and carrots and stuff, and it all goes in the soup. It's disgusting. And you run into people's legs and stuff, and other rats are fighting you. Oh.
All right, let's not do that, but let's watch the movie together.
Okay.
All right, it's a date. We'll do that after partying this weekend.
I'd rather eat first and then watch the show.
Okay, that's fair. So Scary Black, well
Good job.
done. Thank you. And Secret Sins Records, keep up the good work, getting awesome bands. We love it.
Get more bands.
Get more bands.
But Mary's Funeral is on Secret Sin. We could. I wonder if we could review Mary's Funeral.
Probably. So that brings me to my final point. If you haven't heard of Kentucky Vampires, they are also on Secret Sin Records, and they are putting out a translucent green vinyl, acid green vinyl.
Yeah.
That everyone needs. And Kentucky Vampires is a really great band, and you should check them out too, and buy the vinyl.
I think I bought the vinyl.
I know that some people were having some PayPal issues, but
I
think that those have been
it.
resolved, yeah, because I was able to finally get around that. So that's it for our music review this week. We hope you liked the albums. If you want to learn about or hear about what we're reviewing before the video goes live, you can always sign up for our Patreon at just $1, and we publish a list of everything we're going to be reviewing in the next week on the Saturdays before everything goes live. Just in case you want to listen before and, feel things with us as we talk about it. But we really appreciate everybody just watching and sticking around with our channel. We hit 600 subscribers this week.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We hit 600 subscribers.
Thank you so much.
And we hit we hit 1,420 on Facebook. And that was largely thanks to Andreas from Cold Transmission. We really appreciate the shout out. That was super cool. But yeah, thanks for sticking with us. Like, this has been super cool. But it's that time again where we thank our patrons specifically at our $10 Violet tier and up. So, starting from the top, thank you, Skullgirdle.
Thank you, Acid Bitter.
Thank you, Cadaver Kelly.
Thank you, Junkyard Bat.
Thank you, Davizoiser.
Thank you, Diasiculus.
Thank you, Mason Shiver.
Thank you, Libby.
Thank you, Bathrozoff.
Thank you, The Count.
Thank you, Max Shrek.
Thank you, Demetria.
Thank you, Uncle Faster.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Dave. David. Did we miss anyone?
Did we say thank you, Cadaver Kelly? Can I thank her twice if we did?
Yeah. Thanks, Cadaver Kelly.
Yeah. We're going to be seeing a lot of you guys at Absolution Fest, which is in less than 30 days.
Oh my god.
Like less than 4 weeks.
So this is a festival that is happening in Tampa with 12 bands over 2 days. So
not 13?
It might be 13 bands. I can't count it all. But we are both spinning the show. Also, DJ Winters and DJ Jet, who you may have seen on this show before.
Yeah, he's the guy who has the
Mohawk
and the color-keyed hair.
Color-keyed?
Yeah, his grays. We couldn't filter out his grays from the watercolor.
Really?
Yeah, so he had like some green screen effect going on.
That's
usually it
interesting.
happens to me in my eyes.
Only because you lean over like this. And then, can you put a picture so that you could see our weird eyes? Ooh, your choice. So Absolution Festival is October 4th and 5th. So get here.
Yeah, we're having pre-parties and after-parties.
You could reach out to us if you don't know anything about Tampa and you don't know where to go or what to do. We can help you with all of that.
I know that
Where
we
to
almost
stay.
exploded with a hurricane, but we're fine now.
Yeah, because
so come to Tampa.
The hurricane didn't happen.
No, it tried.
It didn't happen in Florida.
No, it just lingered in the Bahamas and...
But that hurricane panic and hurricane scare, that's our hurricane season. That's what we go through.
Yeah.
A whole week of, like, insanity. And then, and then nothing else.
So yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody at Absolution Fest. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Bye!